technology reporter Mike Dubusky. So, Mike, tell us more about this warning and the person behind it.
Yeah, that's right. Dario Amodei is the CEO of Anthropic, one of the major artificial intelligence firms out there. Kind of their flagship product is called Claude. It's basically like their version of ChatGPT. And Claude has been in the news lately, launching a new coding tool, a new workplace tool. People have been talking about this company for a few days now. And that makes it all the more significant that Amodei chose to release this 38-page essay warning about the future of AI right now. And the warnings range from everything from the potential for AI to fall into the wrong hands and be used for nefarious purposes to the potential for it to displace jobs. In fact, Amodei estimates that about 50% of white-collar jobs at some point will be disrupted within the next few years, 5 years, because of the prominence of artificial intelligence.
So that's not the only warning, though. Tell us about the potential to misuse AI at the government level as well.
Yeah, the warnings here are, again, pretty broad, Kira. The idea that artificial intelligence could potentially be used by an authoritarian government to silence protesters or dissidents, the potential for this to fall into the hands of terrorist groups and be used to basically develop a bioweapon, as we heard in the piece just then. And then Amodei also raises this sort of general concern about how government regulators and legislative frameworks around the world are just not prepared to meet the challenge of a super intelligence, that is to say, an artificial intelligence that matches or surpasses the capabilities of the human brain. But just a level set here for a moment, Kira, that idea of super intelligence, or artificial general intelligence as it's sometimes called, is kind of squishy, right? The actual definition has shifted over the years and the goalposts have kind of moved depending on who you talk to. So this is something that Amodei raises as a concern, but it's also worth mentioning that these things do change over time and people are still sort of figuring out exactly what some of the terms here mean.
Well, what are the capabilities and shortcomings of AI technology right now? I mean, we don't really know everything and what we're in for.
Absolutely. And it's worth just talking about what AI is capable of at this moment, because there are some very legitimate concerns ranging from AI psychosis, a number of major artificial intelligence companies facing lawsuits related to these chatbots exacerbating mental health crises. We talked about the job concerns, the potential for this to displace coders at scale as well. But there's this old adage in the tech industry, Kira, that I think is informative here. You shouldn't buy a smartphone based on the promise of future software updates. You should buy a smartphone based on what it can do right now. And what artificial intelligence can do right now, while impressive, is still pretty flawed. Even the most advanced models from Anthropic, from Google, from OpenAI, and others regularly hallucinate, which means there's some practical concerns these companies need to answer before we deal with the existential concerns raised by Amodei.
Mike Dubusky, thanks so much.